Welcome back to Apple Place. So today I'm going to be building a house in Bloxburg with items that I don't use in Bloxburg. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this plot. It says empty plot. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into build mode. So I'm going to go into build mode. And I'm going to first start off with the wall. So the rules of this game is where I only use items that I don't use in Bloxburg. And there are actually a lot of items because I don't really build a lot. But it may seem like that to you guys because I actually do videos where I build stuff, but to me it's not. So I'm gonna make this box and I'm just gonna make random shapes. So I will see you guys when I finish making the shapes. Okay, so I finished making the outside of the house and now I'm going to be using this rounded roof. I think this is what it is. But I'm going to be using this rounded roof here because I've never ever used this roof in my builds and because I didn't really think it looked right. So I'm just going to be using it for this build here and I'm going to put it on every corner and see how this turns out. Okay, it actually looks bad. I'm just going to raise it up a bit and I think that looks pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it kind of looks like a barn, but we're gonna stick with this. Okay, so this is just the roof I picked, and this is gonna be the inside, like the layout and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the outside, the exterior. So I'm gonna be using this. Should I use like the floor for the paths? I don't think so because I actually use these for every build. But I mean, it would be kind of different to use the path, so let's see how the path works out. Hopefully it doesn't look bad. I never really used the path because of like the rounded part of it. Didn't really look right. So I'm gonna try that. It actually is starting to look like a floor. Okay, so this is just what it looks like. It actually looks really good, except there's those rounded edges over there. But let's just ignore that for now. And now we're gonna go ahead and use a door. So I'm gonna actually bring the screen up so you guys can actually see which doors I'm using. Okay, so this looks much better. You guys can see which doors I'm choosing. So I'm gonna be using this frosted front door. And I mean, it actually looks really good. It doesn't look that bad. Hopefully this house turns out decent. Probably not, but I'm gonna find a window. I've never used this large factory window before, and I mean, it doesn't look that bad. So I'm just gonna color this institutional white because like that's the color that I use for almost all my windows. And I'm going to clone it and put it over here. And I'm also gonna put one on the back of the house. Yeah, this is also what the back of the house looks like, so it doesn't look that bad actually. This house is turning out pretty good. Okay, and the color I'm going to be using oyster, and I'm going to use, let's see, the stone lines. I think those look pretty good. I really don't want this house to look like a barn actually. Okay, but I'm just going to go ahead and color the whole house. Okay, so I finished coloring the outside of the house, and now I'm gonna go ahead and use some gardening thingies. Like, I might just use some trees. I've never actually used this stack tree because it kind of looks weird. I mean, it doesn't look realistic, but I'm just gonna use these since I've never used them before. And this house is starting to kind of look like a little cottage, but I'm gonna use windows now. Okay, so for this side of the house, I'm gonna use the commercial window since I don't want too many frames. And I'm gonna color the door a different color. I'm gonna use linen for the front of the door, and I'm going to use a institutional white. And yeah, that's just the front door. Now for the lighting, I've actually never used this one before. I've used it once, but I never used it again. So I'm just gonna be putting this wall lamp here. And the path doesn't look bad. I mean, I'm just gonna color it and see how it actually looks. So see you guys after I color it. So coloring it didn't go too well, so I'm just gonna end up deleting it. So I'm just gonna delete everything here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and have to use the floor because, well, the path is not working. So I'm just gonna use this. And I'm gonna use concrete. And the next step I'm going to do is the fence. I'm going to use the most expensive fence because I never really bought it. I think that not many people buy this fence is because it is so expensive. So I'm just gonna risk it here and buy it. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side now. So I'm just gonna use one square and I'm gonna use the rest of them. And I'm just gonna cover the rest of the house so it's like secure. Not really secure, but I'm just gonna color these institutional white, just like the roof. And I'm just gonna color everything that color. Okay, so I've finished coloring the fences, and let's see what we're gonna do now. I think what I'm gonna do next is do the inside. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the inside by adding a floor. So I'm gonna have to exit build mode for now and then go back in build mode just to separate the walls a bit. Oh gosh, what's happening? But anyways, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest of the house while I'll be back. Okay, so I am back now, and it's actually kind of foggy now in Bloxburg. So the walls have separated, and I'm going to add flooring to each and every room in this house. And I'm going to, yeah, just do that. So I'm gonna add a floor here. And as you can see, some of the coloring in the walls went to the inside, so I'm just gonna change that so I don't get confused with what I have to color. Okay, so next I'm going to use a door. So I'm going to be using this striped door here, and it's kind of weird. Do not ask me why I have a door with a window for the bathroom, because seriously, I don't know. But I've never actually used that, and the door frame I rarely use. Does that count? Probably not, but I'm still going to use it. And for the bedroom, I'm going to be using the sleek sliding door, and I'm going to color the doors a different color. So I'm just gonna copy this here, and that looks pretty good so far. And for the flooring, I'm gonna use this classic carpet, and I'm going to change it to a white color. And then for the kitchen, let's see what colors we're gonna use. Probably institutional white and checker tiles. Yeah, we're gonna use checker tiles for that. So then it actually looks more like a kitchen. And for the living room, we're going to use this carpet. And we're going to use the dotted tiles for the bathroom, because I've never really used that floor either. And I'm going to use the leather, or which one? Probably this decorated one at the bottom for the bedroom. Okay, so now into the decorating. Well, I actually meant coloring the house. But here's the front of the house and the bedroom. I colored everything, like the walls and stuff, and just made it look more pleasing to the eye. And this is just how the house looks. So now I'm going to get started with decorating the house. And let's see. For the bedroom,